Today, the subject is confronting my wife, Leah, on her terrible taste in movies.
It's an intervention.
That's your opinion.
We need to have a talk.
I know.
This is because we love you.
It's all opinions.
It's because we love you, Leah.
We started talking about this on, what was it, Sunday?
Yeah,
and it started to get heated, and the cameras were not rolling.
Right.
So I was like, pause. JJ's at FurryCon. Wait till he gets back. So we can have this conversation. All right, and what were we talking about on Sunday? Avatar?
Hold on, I just want to hear JJ's perspective on FurryCon.
I'll say one thing.
Is that okay?
One thing. I'll say one thing. Harry asked me to take a final tally of all the furries I saw there. Like not going out looking for the passing by.
Wait, but
total
you
tally.
need to clarify it wasn't actually FurryCon.
No, it wasn't actually FurryCon. It was MegaCon. Crud. Anyway, there was 22.
It was 22
There were
furries?
22 furries.
Furries at Megatron.
That's a whole
22
pack.
furry Megatrons. That's more.
That's a whole pack of furries.
20.
Whenever, and then he texted me and said when the tally was at 7, he texted me and said 7 furries and 3 of something worse. I was like, what's
what
worse?
was it? We never found out.
What's worse than a furry?
Those stupid maid outfits. But which are bad by themselves. But imagine people that should never be wearing
maid
them.
outfits.
People that should never be wearing.
Ears?
Like a 45-year-old
This isn't
man.
the worst thing. This isn't the worst thing. There was a girl dressed as a Navi. The Avatar. I kid you not.
I would have.
It was one of the
picture with
grossest things
You
I've
would have
ever
taken
seen
a
in my
picture.
life.
Okay,
No,
okay.
not if
Let's
they
get
were
it.
like-
Perfect segue
Oh yeah, that is a perfect
joke.
into
segue.
Avatar. Leah,
See, this is
explain
all
your
on
position
theme.
on Avatar.
My what?
Leah loves Avatar.
Yeah, I
Right?
do.
Hold on, no. Wait, this needs to go on hold because we need to establish what movies are bad, and
To
then
her?
Avatar is good compared to these movies.
Okay,
we need to
okay.
establish that.
Okay.
We need to establish that because Avatar is not a bad movie, right? It's not like
actually the #1 movie in the world. So
Oh my gosh.
yes, it
That-
is.
you
can't
It's
just say
ranked-
these things.
It's
Hold on.
ranked number
Hold
1.
on, we're
Look
back-
at
Wait,
the
Because it made a lot of money,
We're gonna
and it's not even the leader in money anymore.
Hold
It's
on.
bull crap.
Hold
That's
on.
been
It is.
wrong for 10 years.
Hold
Keep
on.
this going. I'm gonna do fact checking in real time here.
No. I think it did get beat in terms of box office sales.
Yeah,
we're talking
see?
about money made though. We're
But
not
people
talking.
a lot of people went. That many people went and saw it. So.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I know,
no.
but money doesn't equivalent.
Hold on. Yeah, the
Quality.
money made doesn't equate
It does.
to the highest quality. Oh, so he's not the
Avatar
highest quality
2009.
husband then.
Okay. Highest.
Because he doesn't make the most
Hold
money
on.
in the world.
Listen. Let's do live fact checking here. Highest grossing movies unadjusted. Avatar 2009 2.8 billion. But hold on. Avengers Endgame 2.7 billion. It is so close.
No.
It is. It's only 100 million off.
I will say though,
No, not even 100
unadjusted-
million. Not even 100. It's 500 with 2.7 and 2.8, but it's 200 and it's so close.
Is this American movies?
Yes.
Some random-
yes.
okay.
Yes.
So
We're
that
doing
must-
American
no.
movies.
Super
It's
Chinese movies
nationally-
make so much money.
Really?
But-
Avatar:
no.
Way of the Water 2.3 billion, which is a $500 million drop off. That's significant.
Yeah, so that's unadjusted.
Way
Which,
of
to
Water-
be fair, unadjusted for
And
inflation.
then the next Avatar doesn't even make it on the list.
So,
the newest one
Leah,
doesn't
Leah.
even make the list.
Leah, Avatar, unadjusted for inflation, being the highest by a large margin, like semi-large margin. That is
She's
impressive.
not getting any of
See?
what you're saying.
No, I'm saying I'll give you that, but I know for sure there's got to be other movies that have beaten
And
it
I
out,
agree.
but
The
they have to
first
be
one is better
international
than
at
the
this
next
point.
two. So that's probably why the third one's not up there because it
The third one,
basically just repeating the first movie over and over again.
The Force Awakens made $2 billion, like more than that. By the time it got to Rise of Skywalker, it was more than $1 billion less. So it was still $1 billion movie, but that's why they stopped making movies, is because the decline of people going to see, like after the results of previous movies.
So percentage of viewers lost in the Avatar is like way higher than normal IPs.
Hold on though.
Does that make sense?
Because they had a starting amount of a
We're
huge
looking
starting
at,
amount of
okay,
people.
how much? We're looking at like possibly $1 billion drop off.
That's okay.
No, it's not.
Hold on,
That's not
hold
good.
on, hold
That
on.
is not
Especially with inflation,
Hold on, let
adjusting
me-
for
It's
that,
not
the
good.
fact
Hold
that
on.
it hasn't
Hey,
made
let me
half
chime
of the
in.
money.
Let me chime in.
And by the way, we're not preying on Avatar's downfall over
let me
here.
just
We're
chime
not.
in here. We need to establish that the most money made does not mean it's the best movie.
Yeah,
That's
yes.
not.
Okay, what is it?
I don't
say the
think
best
she doesn't
movie
even think
is
that. She's
on
just
the
saying
internet?
that.
What would it say the best?
You think
movie is
Google
on-
is the answer
Okay.
to this?
People will put in their.
It's
like,
a pretty good
thoughts.
gauge.
And
Connor.
listen,
Grok, what is the best movie ever made?
we need like let's take. I don't think Star Wars are the best movies ever made, but let's
No.
take Star Wars as an example. Like, what about all the?
Scary movie.
Oh, this has to. So the problem with this is, and of course this
There's a lot
this
of
makes
problems,
it fair.
but it's okay.
No. So this makes it fair, but it's not about what's the most popular either. You know what I'm saying? So it's
This
really
is
hard.
highest
This is good.
rated-
This is fair.
Ready? This is highest rated movies in IMDb. Shawshank Redemption, The Godfather, The Dark Knight, The Godfather Part 2, 12 Angry Men, Lord of the Rings, Schindler's List, Lord of the Rings, Pulp Fiction, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, Fight Club, Forrest Gump, Inception. Avatar is nowhere to be seen.
That's
here.
okay. Lord of the Rings is better than Avatar.
Yes,
all
yes,
those are
yes,
there.
yes, this is
Now,
a
what do you
good
think
take.
of Rise?
So-
Now, what do you think of Rise?
What a
Hold on,
great
hold on,
take!
hold on.
What a great take!
Hold on.
What a great
No.
take!
Wow.
Lord of the Rings is
Wow.
better.
Hot
Lord of the
takes.
Rings is
Hot
great.
takes. This is getting crazy.
No, that's a great take.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy is better than the Avatar trilogy.
No, but this is good.
This is progress
This is
being
good.
made here.
That's
You know that
This is
Lord of
good.
the Rings is my all-time favorite movie.
That's
so-
a good thing. That's a good
Yes.
position. to
What?
hold.
What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Her favorite
You said
movies?
Avatar was your all-time favorite.
No,
movie.
no. She said she really likes them, and
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Hold
All
on.
right. So
Hold
Lord of
on.
the Rings is your favorite movie franchise. What is your favorite Star Wars movie?
No. Hold on.
Okay, well,
We're gonna
open that
hold on.
can
We're
of
going
worms.
too
Yeah, that-
specific here.
we'll
I want to
build
be
up
more
to-
meta at the start.
Oh, okay, man.
Original trilogy. Leah, please pay attention. Original Star Wars trilogy, prequel trilogy, or sequel trilogy.
Wait, out of all three of them, what's my favorite? I like one from each.
No, you're.
Wait, well,
No.
that gets us
Here,
nowhere. You need to
specify-
tell us
here.
what your favorite was.
If
Do you
you have to
like
pick
the
the three
original
as a group-
movies? Do
you
you
like-
like the Anakin Skywalker movies, or do you like the Rey movies?
I have to pick one of the.
Yes, rank. I'm asking a very specific
What
question.
era
Which-
do you like the most?
Like, if you're gonna pick a Star Wars movie
She
to
has an
watch,
answer. She's just
which
afraid
one are
to
you
say
gonna?
it.
Which Star Wars movie you're gonna pick?
Probably the Ray ones because they're like
Sequel
they're
to-
more action packed and entertaining.
I
Okay,
so
listen, but
Leah,
here's the thing:
Leah.
I don't like all of the new
Leah.
ones.
So there's only one way that you can make proper like connections to things like Lord of the Rings and the sequel trilogy as far as like what you can enjoy about them, and it's pure scale and spectacle. And I wanted to, so I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that that's not it, but that there's actually stuff about the sequels that you find is good.
Well, okay, I was out of the originals. It was close between the originals and the new ones, but I was thinking more action. Like the originals are just more slow and boring, and I like fast-paced
Leah
movies.
likes flashy, exciting movies.
Yeah.
Like we went and watched the new. What was the name of that movie?
Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail
Was
Mary.
it good?
Very,
It was
very good.
very good. I've seen it
Did you
twice.
like it?
I've seen it twice now.
She
Did,
said it
but
was
I wouldn't
boring.
want to watch it ever again.
She
Why?
said it was
'Cause
boring.
it's
She
just
was
kind of
she.
boring.
I
I
was
know what's
watching the
gonna
movie. I was on the
happen.
edge of my
It's like-
seat, looking at the screen like this, and I look back to see her reaction. She's sitting like this in the chair.
So
I'm like,
it is a
"What's
long
wrong?"
sci-fi movie. You know what I mean? There's a certain type of movie it is. Now, to be fair though, pacing wise, I never would consider it boring. There's like maybe like a few aspects to it that drag, but like nothing significant. If you're into the movie, you want it to be even longer.
Right.
So that's why I was shocked when she said that.
I feel like
Which, if you're not into the movie, I get it. It's 3 hours long. You know what I mean? But like,
that too.
it is.
I kind of agreed with
I
your
mean, you
mom.
like
It
Lord of the
kind
Rings,
It
though.
kind of lost me with the fake rock thing because I thought it was going to be like a real movie, and then I was like, oh well, this is a fake little rock.
Ryan Gosling isn't actually stranded in space. There's
How
an
do you know that-
alien.
how do you know that that wasn't based on a true story?
Oh yeah.
It's not.
No,
no,
that's not
but
an answer. That's not an answer.
You think Ryan Gosling's not real?
engage with the hypothetical here.
Engage
How
with
do
the
you know that that movie is not based on a true
Have you
story?
checked?
I don't, but from my perspective, it seemed super fake. A rock that looks like a spider is actually really creepy.
So-
too.
so Leah-
Spiders are real. Rocks
It
are
looked
real.
like a spider though, in
So
rock
Leah,
form.
what was your favorite part of the movie?
I think it's a rock in spider form.
The end.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I want to know what you really liked about it.
What I like?
Okay, let's talk about Avatar: Way of the Water.
No, it's
I
no.
fell
we
What
can,
you really like about
I
and
Avatar:
from
Way
your
of the
fell
Water?
question,
asleep.
from your question about the Star Wars one, it actually was hard because I do like watching the originals because it's like old and nostalgic or whatever. But like, there's a lot of scenes where I'm just like, all right, like I'm so bored.
Okay, question. So
The scene
you
where Luke
think,
and Leia kiss
Hold
on
on.
Hoth.
Hold on.
Like I don't even I don't know.
That didn't spike your
You
interest.
don't
be
like,
complete-
you don't
I
like
will
the,
say,
you don't like
everyone-
the brosis smooch scene?
No, but I will say I will say it's really annoying how everyone likes Empire Strikes Back because I don't like that one. I like
Oh.
the Return of the Jedi.
So-
I mean, I
Best
like it, but it's
So
not
it
my
is
favorite.
oversaid.
It's
So,
like,
Hear me
the
out.
whole
It is
snow
What is your
scene
favorite
is so
Star Wars
boring.
movie?
Heckin' back that Empire's the best
I don't have
Star Wars
a favorite.
movie.
I like three
but
from each
only
from
'cause
each
it's
thing.
true.
I like
It
the
is
last
true.
one in
It
each.
is true. It's just
what
the
is it
problem
called?
is
Each
it gets
trilogy.
annoying
Return
when you
of
have
the
all these other
Jedi
movies you
is
like,
very
where it's
good,
like
but
No,
Return
I
of
like the
Jedi
third-
is
I
I
know
like
it's
the
still
third
technically
one
the best though, and
in
I'm so
each,
annoyed we still
thing.
can't get a movie that's as good. You know what I mean?
Right.
It gets
No,
it gets
I
annoying.
like
Some come
Return
close
of
for
the
me
Jedi,
though. I
Revenge
love
of the
the new one.
Sith, and then Rise of Skywalker.
Dude, she likes Rise of Skywalker.
I went and saw Rise of Skywalker at least 6 times in theaters.
Holy crap.
You so
Me and
Leah.
Hannah.
You have a mind virus.
So Leah, I'm
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
love
be
you
real
so
with
much.
you.
I
You're
think I
the
watched
only
twice in the same night.
human being.
Twice in one
You're like
night.
you're like
Went with-
you're like
Sister.
Grace. Oh, you're like Grace up in the space station alone. You're like the only person I've ever even heard of that likes Rise of Skywalker. Everyone
Yeah.
that
Hannah
likes
it too.
TFA,
Hannah likes it
everyone
too,
that likes
so-
the older ones
Okay,
dislikes
okay,
that. Everyone who
why
likes
do
the
you
newer
like it?
ones dislikes it. They
Hold
don't.
on,
hold on.
No one likes it as an ending. You and your dad were laughing out loud when you first saw
No,
it.
yeah,
right?
we were
It was
laughing.
funny.
We're sitting on gold here. Why do you like Rise of Skywalker? The number one reason.
Guys, there's many reasons.
No, what is the number one that you like to tell me?
I know what it is.
off
I'm so
camera?
scared.
Okay, stop. I do like this, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite. But I'm saying 'cause
She would
I,
say it off camera, but on camera, she's
Yeah,
realizing.
Hey, no,
Hey.
I do really like this about the movie, but there's other stuff. Because I really like Raylo.
So here's
right.
Me and Hannah freaked out at the end.
even
so
so even if I was a
Hannah
furry
too?
too,
Yes,
I would
me
be
and Hannah,
thinking
we
The
watched
out
it.
of
We watched
nowhere
it like
This
love
explains
story of Kylo Ren.
this was
and
me
Rey
when they
Palpatine.
kissed. I went.
me
Where
and
did this
Hannah
come
watched it
from?
at like 6 at night with like some friends,
Probably, like,
and then we watched it again
Rohan.
at like
Probably
9 o'clock with
Rohan
cavalry
and-
people.
Messick.
Okay, wait. Since we're on the topic, which
Yeah,
are
I
you?
think,
Hey,
like, Dale
since
was
we're
there.
since we're semi
He
on
was
the
probably
topic.
there. He doesn't
Hey.
remember. This was what? How many years ago?
2021.
That's when it came out. No.
All right.
No.
All right,
Yeah.
don't
It's
think
like
about it.
2020 or
Don't think about it.
2019.
Just give me what answer you'd give normally, Edward or Jacob.
Edward.
Okay,
Actually, that's
That's the
a-
right answer.
that's the right answer.
right
but
answer.
I mean,
It's the
to be fair,
politically
to
correct
contribute it,
answer.
to interact with it at all
Jacob's
is not
a
right.
straight
but-
pedo. I don't care what anyone
He's
says.
not a pedo.
He's a pedo.
Oh wait, yeah, he is a
He
pedo.
imprints on
Well,
an
it's all
infant.
freaky. Yeah.
Listen,
I
Jake,
hate that.
Jake has
I
it
hate
in the
that.
bag for the first like 3 movies, and then it just all falls
No,
apart.
dude, he's so cringe throughout the whole thing.
it-
His
the-
one, his
yeah, it's all-
his
it's all
lines that he
pretty
said.
bad.
It's partially because those books are probably
Here,
trash. The
No,
dialogue
hold on.
sucks.
I'll
You know
say he's
why I
probably
seriously
the
have a
best in the
problem with
second one, though.
Edward's thing is that she has to give up her soul. She has to eternally damn her own soul so that she can be with Edward.
that's what
she
makes it
doesn't have to
poetic.
do that with Jacob.
Yeah, but that's
Right,
what makes it
but
poetic, Harry.
she's-
That's what she's willing to do for love.
But
That
here's
is
the
so
thing.
gay.
I know,
That's
because it's
so
fan
gay.
fiction.
You know all about that.
She's just a
Furry
ripe
con.
fool.
Oh shoot!
All
Wait,
right?
I do make fan fiction technically with the series.
Oh,
Counts.
it came out.
I've been working on one long fight animation recently.
Episode 51's gonna be a wild
Episode 51 is gonna have a Patreon release. Behind a
deleted scenes.
Dude, Triangle and Monkey are just making out for 1 whole minute.
That's a
Part
long
51.
time.
And it's
Part 51 leak. Part 51 leak. They fall in love.
and it's at 120 frames per second. 8K.
We need to stop
8K.
What's
painstakingly
wrong with him?
animating every frame.
He looks good to me.
baby. All right, we need to move on.
And to with my Star Wars thing, I also didn't grow up on watching the old ones, so I feel like that also needs
a
to be
factor.
put into consideration.
It's a factor.
When I first heard about I probably heard about it, but the first time I showed interest in it was when Force Awakens came out, because the hype was so big because it had just came out again. So that's
So you
what
like to
made
follow
me
the hype train.
whatever.
So
The Force Awakens is what made me want to watch all the Star Wars. So, I didn't grow up on it, so my parents didn't show me those movies for some reason.
I'm
did your
not
parents
trying to
show
make
you?
fun of the age gap here, but I technically grew up with the sequels partially as well.
No, no, you did not.
Wait,
No,
wait.
not as long as the other ones, but if you think
No,
about
no,
it,
no,
at
no,
least
no,
in
no, no,
times,
no,
like
that is
Force
not true.
Awakens, I
Hold
was
on.
little when Force Awakens
You
came
are-
out.
Yeah, I was in
That was
high
You
over
were
10
little,
years
but
ago.
as far back as I can remember, we were putting in those VHS
Yeah,
original trilogy.
What I'm saying
That's
is,
what
is
we
to an
grew up
extent,
on.
I was very young and really into this stuff the whole way through. It's not that I'm a jaded adult.
We
now,
had the original trilogy,
disliking
and we had
Force
all the
Awakens.
movies
It's
except
not
for
that.
Revenge of the Sith. We weren't allowed to watch Revenge of the Sith till we were
They
teenagers.
all. What I'm saying is when I was little, these were all existing in the standard, and then as I got older, I started realizing which ones had more shelf life than others. Does that make sense?
Hey, I've got a question now.
Never mind.
Turn the attention to good old Connor really quick.
Okay.
All right.
You got it.
All right.
I'm gonna
Why?
take the
We're gonna give you a break here. All right. You can beat on someone else here because I know all of you disagree with me on this. I like Episode 8. I want to know what you guys don't like about Episode 8.
So
And don't just say it's just it. Tell
No,
me
no, no,
what
no, no.
you
So-
don't.
no,
like
I
about
can
the
get into
episode.
it, but I also wait.
hold
Butchering
on.
the legacy
One
of Luke
person at a time.
Skywalker.
One person at a time. One person
All
at
right,
a time.
let me
Can I
start.
go
Hold
first?
on,
No,
hold
no.
on.
Can I go first? I swear. Please.
Sure. Go.
So I actually agree with you in the fact that it is a real film. It's a film I dislike and think has a lot of issues, but at least compared to Rise of Skywalker, it's an actual film. Rise
we
of
can agree on
Skywalker
that.
is a bunch of
and everyone else in the
Rise
world
of
can agree with you
Skywalker
on
has
that.
probably one of the worst plot structures I've ever seen. Meanwhile, Last Jedi, it just does a lot of things that I think are not. It's
Like
not
what?
even. It's
Like
not
what?
even problems I disagree with. It's just plot issues in general.
Tell me
like the
what.
fact that a lot of stuff becomes meandering, especially on the Poe and the Rose side, which. To be fair, is
That
generally
I hate.
really.
I hate the Rose.
Yeah, but
The
that's
Rose
a
is
lot of the
bad bit
movie.
in that movie.
I mean, and then also they were just they're in the vein of trying to be subversive. They shooting down a lot of the stuff that was being shot up, and it's like they thought like, well, it's not exactly the movie we were thinking. It's like, but it's not the movie. No one had an exact idea of where the movie was going, nor expected to have one. That's not what it was. It's just the fact that it was such a curveball, and it works in the moment.
That's
why they did it.
about the movie.
The fact that they kill their main antagonist
Hold on.
pretty easily when he was
They-
supposed to be
J.J.
set up for way more
Abrams
later on. The
set
whole
up-
entire movie is a very slow chase movie that even the aspects of the chase itself, through like little twists they do, become redundant, like the way they do that.
Okay.
The weird way that it goes straight from the previous movie into that one of like, oh, quick, we got to get going, like pack up the base. Like everything was just like a small victory, but now we're immediately back into like this is the end mode.
I mean,
and
that's
also for some reason
kind
the
of-
rebellion is only regulated to that one little section when they literally had the government behind them. They had the Republic behind them.
Right.
But they're now a small resistance again. Why? Because they all were in the same place, I guess.
It has its holes, but I think
No. I want to harp on one thing real quick before you respond to him.
right.
I don't have like a detailed breakdown of this, but I liked Force Awakens as an individual movie. I really enjoyed it.
I agree.
And I loved what J.J. Abrams set up. Snoke, super mysterious. He was gonna set it. He was setting it up. It was an alley oop to Rian Johnson, right?
Right.
Like all you have to do
But Rian Johnson
is
ruined it.
now that the ball is in your hand, just put it in the hoop. That's all you have to do.
Right.
But what if
Instead of doing that,
But what if I
Ryan
killed
took
the hoop?
ball?
Right.
Yeah.
But
He
what if
said,
I killed
what
the
if
hoop?
I popped the ball?
Yeah.
Right.
And then I put it in the hoop. It's like, what are you talking? So, I can remember watching YouTube videos. Okay, who is Snoke? Who could Snoke be? Is it Mace Windu? Is it Palpatine? Right? And he's deformed. Like maybe there's a case for that. No, Snoke is a clone of Snoke. That's the twist.
So that was bullcrap. To be fair, that's not that movie's fault. That's not that movie's fault.
You never find out who Snoke is. You just never find out. Just nothing, right? He's just a clone of something, right?
He
just gets eviscerated.
Right.
Which was interesting when I saw. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. So there's got to be something else that's going to happen. That's crazy, and there's not. He just dies. The main villain that they still have to do an entire new movie for, right? Because it's a trilogy.
Right.
They just killed the villain in the second film. Wait, the Knights of Ren. This was even cooler than Snoke.
Yes. Yeah.
J.J. Abrams set them up to be like almost like not like the Sith, but like the anti what Luke was building.
They're
up,
almost
right?
like Palpatine's like royal guards a little bit, but like way with
cooler.
actual character. You know what I'm saying?
No. And they wrote comics about the individual. Like they prepped the second film to be crazy. Like the Knights of Ren were supposed to.
But
Kylo and the Knights of Ren were supposed to have a much bigger role. They get clapped.
So
by Rey, who has no lightsaber training.
The Snoke thing, it's
They're
not down
supposed
to the idea for me.
The Black Ops of the galaxy, and a chick who fought with a lightsaber one time claps them.
So two things.
Kills Snoke.
Right.
Yeah, two things partially into response to what he said.
It's such
So the thing with Snoke, it's not the idea I have an issue with. It's just the way they do it. That's the problem. Is some people say it's like no, like man, you just wanted this movie to be like all the other ones, didn't you? It's the ideas that you don't like. It's like no. It's also the way the ideas are done. They're not great. It's not well done. That's what we also disagree with. Here's the thing: the movie's shot beautifully. That's what it is.
It looks good.
Visually looks.
It looks good.
Great.
It does look really good.
It looks really good. But that's where that. But even to
memes
an like
from that movie too.
Yeah. So I don't think a single. I don't think Leia like floating herself through space, like in being fine in that airlock. I don't think anyone defends that. I've never heard.
No,
of it.
yeah.
Everyone makes fun of that part.
The hair, the lady with the
I thought that was 9. That is 8. I hate that part. But what?
No, that was it. The lady with the Leia.
The Leia thing was crazy.
Leia doesn't die, and then she's able to use the Force to fly.
So one more thing. One more thing
I
before I
don't
move
like
on,
that
Harry.
either.
One more thing before you move on.
That one's my least.
The Knights of Ren
is
is a microcosm of everything that I have a problem with TLJ, the episode 8, is that a lot of the elements that the Rise of Skywalker does it poorly, but it tries picking them up in its last installment. The Last Jedi is a somewhat of filler most of that movie. Important things happen in some of the worst ways, as in like you're screwing over the next movie. But in other ways, doesn't pick up anything that they were starting to build up. Knights of Ren is one of them. That's more like a micro version, but like the idea
a lot of
being,
your guys is hold on. Let me talk. I've gotten a lot of this. A lot of your guys' gripe is that the movie's not what it was intended to be. It became something that it wasn't.
The movie was
We
not
wanted
what
a
it
good
was.
one.
What?
Episode 8 was not.
It's a very anticlimactic sequel.
Right. It wasn't what it was intended to be.
Yes.
Right. There were plans for it, and it veered off of that course.
Yes.
But here's the thing. It's in a way that hurts the next movie and also doesn't give itself as many good results in its own movie. It's not like...
set up something else, though.
Let me set up an
Rise of
example.
Skywalker screwed.
So let me set up...
Which is Kylo Ren being the true antagonist of that series.
Yes.
And
yeah,
there
I
being
agree with...
Yes.
A real heartbreaking battle between, like, Rey and him that they don't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? But they have to.
Right.
That's the thing.
And then they just throw Palpatine in there, which is, I'm so sorry, but it's the worst choice ever.
It is the worst
It's
choice ever,
horrible.
yes.
I don't love the Palpatine either. I think they could have just went with Rey and Kylo.
That was one of the worst things
But
I've
They
ever
could've,
seen
and
is
that
them
Everything else-
saying in the opening crawl of episode
That-
9
that could have been good.
That
Yeah,
could've
no,
been
no, no.
the
really
dead
good.
speak.
What?
No, no.
Yeah,
So
seriously.
that,
This is the
that's a
tragedy of
micro.
the
That's a
sequel
micro.
trilogy,
Yeah.
is it could have been so good.
Right.
So
And
they-
it just was not.
So here's the other thing: is the stuff with Kylo Ren. I know what you're saying. What I'm saying is even in the movie itself, that's not the best. That's not great. I like what it might set up. That's the thing where what it actually might set up is actually good for the next sequel. Like I said, it's not the idea with doing Snoke like that I disliked. It's the way they did it.
Right.
That's my issue. That's how it is with most of this movie. And then it also screws up stuff that TFA is not a perfect movie, but that
Also,
was starting to set up.
They didn't. I don't think Rey fought the Knights of Ren in 8. She fought those red guys in 8.
She fought the red guys in it, yeah.
Knights of Ren.
Knights of
happens in
Ren are
That's when
they're
both
basically
Rey and Kylo
marketable
come back.
toys.
I'm
They're
sorry. Then
briefly in episode
9.
9
When they fight the red guys, it's
acting
dope.
as
I like
yeah,
when
yeah.
they fight
Okay,
those
then
guys.
that whole part, disregard what I said. But I will say, Ryan Johnson is on record, like 20 years ago, a while back. He goes, "One day, I am going to direct a film that I am going to purposely try to piss people off with." He, in an interview, he said, "I am purposely going to make a movie that people are going to have to defend."
Because has he
I think
made
that's
good movies?
that's a lot of movies.
Ryan Johnson.
So
Huh?
this is
Has
where
he
it
made
gets
good
interesting.
movies?
Yes.
This is where it
Ryan
gets
Johnson has
interesting.
made good movies. My point is, he got a hold of Star Wars. He got the helm of Star Wars. He's like, I'm gonna do this thing that I've been planning on
mess
doing.
it up. Yeah.
I'm gonna.
That's exactly
so
why that- I
I'm
mean, that
gonna
one
do
isn't
something
good.
with this.
He
And you know
messed it
what?
up.
You know what? My number one gripe is that he just butchers Luke Skywalker. From the moment the movie starts, when he's holding his lightsaber, his father's lightsaber, the beginning of the movie, he looks at Rey and goes, "Yeet."
And before now,
So corny.
my
dude. It's
issue with that
corny,
is
and
the
it's a
way they
slap
did
in
it.
the-
My
Like,
issue with that is the
imagine
way they
someone
did
like
it.
your dad.
They can do a Luke
Anakin
Skywalker has to like
Skywalker's
build himself
lightsaber
up
is
again,
sacred.
but the way they knocked him down was bullcrap. That's the problem. You know what I mean? And even the way they build him up is bullcrap.
I
Like,
honestly,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
totally. I think I just totally disagree with that. I think what they did with Luke is really interesting and makes sense to me because he, like, when you think of an Obi-Wan or you think of a Yoda, they have a huge history of, like, being a Jedi in a time when, like, the universe was full of Jedi. You know what I'm saying? Where Luke's only experience as a Jedi is completely alone. You know what I'm saying? He's the only Jedi for the pretty much the entirety of his career
So-
as a Jedi.
so the issue is, like I said,
Okay.
that even goes with what I'm saying is the idea is not the problem.
And
it's
then
the way they do
Let me
it.
finish the thought.
Obi-Wan had a purpose in his desert years. He was protecting Luke.
I have to
Right.
pee now
Luke,
too. I have to
Luke
pee now.
was
Right,
the galaxy's last hope
right,
when Anakin fell.
right,
Right?
right.
Obi-Wan wasn't sad boy. Like, he was like, I'm protecting Luke. You know what I mean? And then when Luke's time came around,
Exactly.
he was waiting for Luke to be ready.
Right.
Right?
Right.
He wasn't nihilistic. Like Obi-Wan, in fact, in the first Star Wars film, right? A New Hope, he's very chipper.
Right.
You know what I mean? In
Right.
fact, he seems a New Hope. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and that's Luke Skywalker is the New Hope. And Luke, when he's in that period, completely nihilistic. The Jedi just need to go extinct. Everything's over.
Right.
The world sucks.
Which, here's the thing, though. I think Luke and... I don't know if you can even compare Luke and Obi-Wan's scenarios because Obi-Wan, like, had a clear goal with a lot of backstory to it that came to fruition and worked out. Luke grew up. Luke beat Vader and Palpatine.
Not Palpatine.
So can I
Hold
won't
on, I'm not
compare
done
him.
with the thought.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
not
Sorry,
done with
sorry.
the thought yet.
I'm after you.
And then Luke, again, born alone into the whole thing. Lost Obi-Wan early on or whatever. Had his victory, and then the sole responsibility of reviving the Jedi is on him, and then that falls flat. You know what I'm saying? There's not a program for him. There's not any master around him to make that happen. Because he's alone, he falls into a place of hopelessness, which puts him where he is.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
and
then you got to admit this too. I think he goes out like a freaking goat. That whole part with Kylo Ren.
To an extent, it was confusing though.
I liked that whole.
So
part,
no. So that's not my issue.
It would have been cool.
Can
if he
I
was
get
there.
into?
I agree.
So I won't compare him to anyone else's, especially supposed to be an aging master. I won't compare him to anyone like that. I'm just gonna go through the play-by-play of Luke Skywalker's life. Luke Skywalker's a quick learner. He starts to learn the Jedi way, but as he starts to, in his own conflict, fall to darkness when really tempted, he eventually decides to throw away his lightsaber and spare his father, which, keep in mind, his father's a terrible person.
Right.
Awful person, but he sees that there can be good in someone and is willing to be the peacekeeper, to be a Jedi, and try and see if he can save his father, and who's a Jedi as well. So now he has the responsibility, the sole Jedi, which, keep in mind, all of Return of the Jedi, for the most part, he's a bit conflicted near the end with the throne room scene, but he's much stronger, not only as a Jedi, but as a person, his character.
Right.
He's a lot more content, he's a lot more collected, he's a lot more focused than he was in Empire, because the idea being in Empire, he was very cocky.
Right.
He got ahead of himself for the right reasons, but in a way that ended up hurting him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In the end, it all works out, all right? Now his sole objective is to restart the Jedi Order. That is his new plan. That is what he does, okay? Now, he is not alone in this. He's not alone in this, not only because he has the family that can help him and these texts that we see in the movie, which, putting those aside, not to mention he can talk to the dead. They're still there.
You can talk to Yoda. You can talk to
So
Obi-Wan.
let's go
You
into
can
the
talk to his dad.
inciting incident that caused all this to go wrong. Snoke, whatever Snoke was at that point, which the movie's all weird about it, he was tempting Kylo in his sleep. Luke felt that dream and knew that Kylo was starting to get these disturbing dreams. Then he has a moment of weakness. He doesn't go through with it, but where he's about to kill his nephew in his sleep. And it's like, your nephew had a bad dream, and you were willing to kill him before you would have killed Darth Vader.
At night, and
You would have
that's your
killed him before
solution.
you killed Darth Vader.
Can you understand the tweak, though?
What do you mean?
Can you understand his tweak out on that?
What do you
No,
mean?
like I said, it is a moment of weakness, but not enough not one that's in character. Like characters, for example, quick thing. This is the only thing I liked about the Ahsoka show. There's an episode where Sabine gives up saving the galaxy at the chance that Ezra can come back to that galaxy. I don't know if you saw that show. I hate that show, but that was the first time in the whole show that I was interested in seeing it.
Right.
Like seeing what would happen. It's like that's a
an
good
interesting
dilemma.
decision.
That is her first actual show of humanity in the show, and it is the wrong decision to make, but it's based in what we know she values, what she's conflicted about, the kind of moment of weakness that she would make. And that we know is going to propel the plot forward in the interesting ways. So that's also why we get hooked onto it. But I'm saying that's an in-character weakness versus the Luke one, where it's like if he just slit a baby's throat and said it was a moment of weakness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the other. And then but even discarding that, maybe he would even if he was taken over by Snoke in that moment, which he wasn't. That's not what they say. He immediately feels like a failure and gives up and segregates himself to an island when his family is trying to deal with their nephew, when the Republic is trying to deal with this new force coming up, when he is their most valuable asset, he shuns himself off because of what happens with his nephew instead
If
of trying to
anyone
fix it.
Can help Kylo
Why?
heal the wounds that are between him and Kylo. It's him, right?
And the movie would
Because
agree with
Kylo
that, as that's what
misunderstood.
eventually happens.
He needs to come to Kylo and say, "I made a bad move." I understand why you were like when he woke up and saw Luke had drawn his lightsaber over him.
Right.
And you're having nightmares where you're like Snoke is trying to convince you that the Jedi are evil, and then your uncle, who's a Jedi, standing over you with a lightsaber.
Right.
And
I think
he's like
I agree
fulfilling-
with all of those points.
Can I give
and
you
what I'm saying is that Luke's reaction is very human because he should have done those things and he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I totally understand what you're saying. I think it's realistic that a person, like, he was about to kill a child, his own family member. You know what I'm saying? And out of shame and probably a few other things, he isolated himself and cut himself off.
Yeah, but then you
from
have to
everyone.
argue that as he got older and matured, that he became less morally mature.
Right. Also,
Because
keep in mind,
when
he left
was
an elaborate
20 or
map.
whatever, he was willing to sacrifice his life for his evil father.
He
Right,
had to
right.
perfectly disappear and go off the grid, and also, for some reason, leave a treasure hunt with R2-D2 to get to his location, all on an emotional whim that's not in character, is what you're telling me.
Right. I mean, when you say not in character, like,
What I'm saying is I
many
gave the
years
reason
have
for why...
passed.
My point is,
They don't
usually
show
you
any reason that
refine-
he would be different at this point.
Normally
We're
you
only supposed to
refine
imply that
your-
this is the
your
same Luke
beliefs
Skywalker.
as you get older. Like, I would say I'm definitely more refined on certain moral positions. You know what I mean?
Right.
Obi-Wan
Like,
did
he was-
not get like lose his sense of purpose inside until they made that stupid Disney Plus show. But Obi-Wan was like a straightforward and content person in his mission, in his responsibility, which is the same responsibility that Luke had to an extent.
Right.
What I'm saying is getting old doesn't, like, things that happen in your life change your perspective on things or make you weaker in aspects. Not getting old, we don't see any of that in the movie. And we're not explained any of that in the movie. We're not given good reason for why, even if he did have these emotions, why he should think at all that this is justified, even personally, to segregate himself when it's the most important that he is involved and tries to stop this.
Right.
What does Yoda do the moment he fails the Jedi completely? Continues the mission.
Right. 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 And that's what I'm saying is that's exactly my point. Is like Luke being involved the whole time. If Luke was in The Force Awakens, like, and was involved in the fight against the First Order, that could have been cool. But I think that that's also really predictable. I think that they took risk with what they did with his character, and I think it was unconventional. Like, it wasn't the normal route, and I honestly just kind of liked it. I thought it was interesting.
Could I give
It
a
was like-
fix? Could I get?
think about this?
Could I
too.
propose a
Yoda
fix?
Isolated himself on Dagobah.
Yeah, because he was communing with the Jedi.
Right.
He did that. Because Dagobah has like a special connection with
To
the
the
Force.
Right.
There was that was also a mission. Type
Plus,
thing.
if I'm right, there's not much he could do at this point, and he'd already assigned the other half of the mission to other people around
Yeah.
him.
And also, let me
Chewunk.
provide an example.
No,
of
to be fair, it's not
someone who
perfect. That's not perfect. Him
morally
not doing
matures.
more than that. That's not a
Right.
perfect thing right there. It's
Yeah.
just, but to me, that's way better than Luke.
Right.
Han Solo noticeably matures morally between the original
6 and
trilogy.
7.
Yes. Yeah. I'm saying there's a noticeable, like, he's still Han Solo every bit, but he's also, like, he's even more refined with what he believes in. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a coward now, right? Like, if Han Solo was never afraid of a fight, and he was never, like, super into the rebellion, but person to person, he cared. Does that make sense?
Right, right.
Like
That's
I would say
that's the one issue with Han Solo in Force Awakens is the fact that he gives up on the thing that we spent like 3 movies him like starting to be more a part of, which is probably the idea being that what happens with his son. But that's a miniature version of what Luke did. It's like, oh, I'm sad.
Like-
I'm going to
like, in my
disappear. I'm going to
opinion-
go back to being a smuggler. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not.
Yeah, but that's not inconsistent.
I know what you're saying
with
is
him.
his
Does that make sense?
This
No, no.
whole thing.
I know
is-
Luke is inconsistent. Luke is
Right.
an inconsistent. If we take the whole picture, Han is very consistent and dies being consistent. Like he has that going for him. Luke died being very bipolar with how he.
That's what
I
that's what
disagree
I'm
with the
saying
Han
is-
Solo thing, but I know what you're
That's
trying
what
to
I'm
say.
saying is interesting to me. Is like everyone wants a character that's consistent, right? Everyone wants a character that sticks to their moral code, that is ride or die in this way, and has a satisfying like conclusion to that. Luke, and this is the core of it, like on why I think you guys don't like it. Luke made bad choices along the way. He made a bunch of bad choices along the way. And what I like is he made bad choices, and before the end came to a realization that he had made bad choices and then tried to make it right. You know what I'm saying?
And-
Which is human. That's
yeah.
human.
So that's
You know what
human.
I'm
Wait,
saying?
real quick. I think
yeah,
I have
go
the
ahead.
perfect way to put it. So, Anakin Skywalker was supposed to be this messianic picture.
Right.
He was supposed to be like Star Wars Jesus, right?
Yeah, right.
Like that's just how it was. But he ended up not being that. I mean, he ended up being the prophecy was fulfilled, but he was not a Jesus. Does that make sense?
Right.
Luke is supposed to be the answer to that. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
Anakin fell, right? Mm-hmm. And the responsibility was on him, and he did not pull through. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he ended up, he pulled it together at the end,
He did.
and Luke was supposed to be his father, but made the right decision. He didn't strike Palpatine down.
Right.
So when he was met with a similar like turn to the dark side, get what I want and what I think is good. Like killing Palpatine, objectively good, morally compromising for a Jedi.
Right.
Anakin turning to the dark side to save Padme is morally good, is a good idea, but not morally justified for a Jedi. Luke makes the correct answer. So Luke is supposed to be the actual messianic.
The chosen one.
Right, so
right.
there's this kind of like comparison between the two, right?
Right.
Both were great. One fell, one did not. One pulled through, and then the sequel trilogy comes and it's like, oh, he fell too.
So
He's
and
not
I-
special. He's not any different
I-
than his dad.
Do you
kind
mind
of thing.
before you keep going? I'm gonna. So here's how I'm.
He was
going
gonna
to
kill his
approach this.
nephew.
I'm gonna try and.
We're 7:45. We're 45 minutes in.
Okay.
All right. I want to give you an example that I think might give you an idea of what our issues are with the film. At least me, because it's not conceptually.
Hold on though.
So
I do understand the issues. You guys have valid points. I guess I'm just saying that I don't think they're issues.
Okay.
I think they're creative
then that's
choices.
yeah,
you know what I'm
but
saying?
yeah, so
Okay.
I'm trying to
That's not
empathize.
an
I'm trying to
yeah, we can't argue.
I'm
with
trying
that.
to what's the word? Empathize with your point here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's not the ideas at hand. So here's the ideas that I think someone who likes this movie would take away from and really like.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that your older hero that was part of like a mythos, but which is very meta to that world, but also it would be in universe, is like this is Luke Skywalker. That's the point.
Right.
And then you find him at his lowest point. And then you give an idea of what he meant to people, what he can still do, the fact that he still has an effect and can still change things in this world. You give him a reason to get back in that fight and give him one last chance, one last ride for redemption at the end.
Right.
Which, honestly, they could have carried over into the next film. Would have made it more
They
satisfying.
could have. I
So,
agree with that.
But here's the other thing.
don't
Is
think he
what
had
I'm
to
saying
die at
is
the
the
end
way
of
they structured all of that was broken to a point, especially in a bad movie, that a lot of people did not find as satisfying, me included. Mm-hmm. Now, a way you could do this, and it's partially the motivation to how he gets to this point, like the hoops you have to jump through for him to get to that point. Mm-hmm. Part of the thing could be that he, in the mode of protecting his family, so whether it's Snoke has an unreasonable influence over him to the point where he can't control what he can do, that's why he needs to take himself off the board. That's why the Jedi need to go into hiding in the prequels, is
they're
because
not tools for
they
Snoke.
become,
Right.
so that they don't die to the bad guys, but also nothing is happening for a long time. We're now at a stale point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Until happenstance happens and we're able to have one more hope, which is this boy.
Right.
His boy and his sister, or this boy and his sister. But the Jedi aren't, you can argue some other aspects of it, but the point is they are in a point of stasis, in a point of failure, but in a way that's still on their mission and makes sense for them to do. But it is still a state of failure. Does that make sense?
Yes.
His state of failure is self-inflicted. Not only because of what he does to get Kylo to do that, but also the way he reacts to after what Kylo does.
Right.
That is what single-handed, one of the things that single-handedly, especially since in the movie they seem to think that Luke Skywalker is going to turn the tide. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that caused the First Order to possibly happen in the first place, is inaction.
Right.
Is as much of the action of you could have done something about this, which is the thing that matters the most to you, is your family. You know what I mean? The thing that matters to you the most is your family, and right now you're abandoning them because you made a mistake.
Right.
And there's no other good
I'm
reason
not
that. If you
arguing
gave him
that
a good
was a
reason
good
where he
choice.
thinks that he should, well, yeah, I know. That's
Yeah. I'm
Like
not
you said,
arguing that.
you understand what our issue is. What I'm saying is that's the reason that I think an idea, I'm not going to say inherently good idea, but an idea that could have been good ended up being bad and screwed the next movie over, which, to be fair, you still could have pulled something good out of the movie. Like we said, really build up Kylo to be a good villain.
Yeah.
That's something good you can pull out of the ashes, for me. The only problem is Rise of Skywalker happened. That's what the next movie was. To make
so
everything
annoying.
full circle, Rise of Skywalker makes that movie look like Goodwill Hunting. All right,
Yeah.
makes it look like Return of the King.
Look, Rise Up Skywalker, I memory hold the
Wait, did
entire
you say Rise of
plot.
Skywalker is better than Return of the King?
No.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, JJ,
I'm saying
that's
it
crazy.
makes Last Jedi look like it's
JJ,
look
that
like
might
Return
be
of the
your
King.
most retarded
I'd
take.
probably hang someone if I heard them say that.
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker is better than Return of the King.
And you know what is
Yeah, right. Get real.
clinical insanity. Kanye
Clinical
West levels insanity.
Just in the middle of one of his lyrics, Junior
Yeah.
was
Hey,
now
if
be
you
on
gotta-
my
if you
Return
got-
of the King is
let's
not as
say-
good as Last
Let's
Jedi.
say it was non-negotiable that Palpatine has to come back. You should have kept Luke alive.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
whole thing would have been better if Luke was there.
Also,
You know
And
what
then
I'm
Luke
saying?
don't
kills him
do it
then.
the way they did it in the
Right,
movie.
literally, Luke versus Palpatine, and then Rey and Kylo.
Also, the way they do it
And
in the
maybe
movie
Luke
is
gets
so
struck down.
stupid.
Maybe.
No,
And
here's
that's
the
cool.
thing. Luke
Yeah.
can
But
die.
no,
Luke can
instead,
die.
He can.
Kill that brother. It would be great.
Luke has a force heart attack instead.
Yeah.
Dies of force.
Dies on a
Bro,
rock from using the Force too much.
JJ, do the
Wait,
Yoda.
why
do it.
don't you like 9 besides the Palpatine?
The plot is nonsensical.
All right, I'll give you a moment.
Do you want me to
Well,
go play by moment by
She's
moment?
a
we don't
Palpatine.
have time
We
for
will
that.
be here
No,
for
no,
the
no.
entire
Don't
runtime
go
of
by
the
last
movie.
Rise
If I
of
go over
Skywalker,
every issue,
and
we will be
every
here for 2
Skywalker
hours.
Dies.
Yeah, that's the other element. But what I'm
What?
saying is, scene to
The
scene,
name
this
of the
movie's
movie's
bull crap.
nonsensical.
Yeah.
There's no more
Here,
Skywalkers.
I'll
They all
name-
died.
Here, let me give you.
I don't.
Let me
agree
give
with
you
the name
3
either.
things that I hate. Specific scenes. 1, the whole Knights of Ren thing happens. She's
Bull
not
crap.
taking on all of the Knights.
Oh,
of
and
Ren.
Leia was more powerful than Luke as a Jedi.
Yeah, ridiculous. That's a whole nother thing.
When did they say that?
I love how they
It's
just
in
put
the
that up there,
movie.
but by
There's a
time
scene
anyone
where
watching, by
they're
the time that
sparring
happens, they're just
with
like, okay, well,
lightsabers,
literally anything can
and
happen in
Leia
this movie, so I just
mogs
believe
Luke
it.
when they were younger.
You know what I mean? By
Yeah.
this point, pure apathy. Where it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, Leia
Okay,
was Leia.
second thing.
Leia trained to be a Jedi at some point. You know what I mean? It's like, sure, for sure.
The
Second
Force is
thing-
female.
yeah, but she did have the Force. It showed
Force
in the
is she,
originals
her.
she had that. So
No,
can't
she
argue.
does have the Force.
Yeah, so why can't
No,
she
yeah.
fight?
So it is.
She
It has
can.
been there since the beginning that Leia has the
Here-
Force.
here's
Or
the thing.
since
Here's the
since
thing.
the
Leia-
Return of the Jedi,
Leia was
has
not
had the
trained
Force.
by 2 Jedi Masters. That's why.
And
Yes.
They did not imply in the 2 previous movies
like
that she
5
did have
second
anything
scene.
with Luke or potential.
Wait, hold. But
Other
that's-
than a couple feelings she has, but that's the same as Return of the Jedi.
Right, that-
But then she does bull crap in the next 2 movies, 8 and 9. She does bull crap in those movies.
Yeah.
And then the movie's like, well,
It's
yeah,
true.
because she actually, like, it's like if Chewie pulled out a lightsaber to deflect a shot from Kylo Ren.
Hold
and
on,
then
guys.
Force pushes him back, and it's like,
Hold
what the
on.
heck? And it's like, oh yeah, I built my own lightsaber and became a Jedi. And it's like, no, you didn't. You
Hold
made that
on.
up. And it's like, what? A lot can happen in 30 years.
I
You know what I
completely have been convinced the Force is female. Rise of Skywalker is the best movie that has ever been made.
right next to Avatar.
Thank you, Harry.
The second best is what's the name of that other one?
Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi.
My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic.
Raylo is awesome. They should have made babies. Maybe they did, and we didn't see.
It sucks when your husband disappears.
Ant-Man Quantumania.
Us.
Ant-Man Quantumania is the best Marvel
the
movie ever
fuzz.
made.
Dude, first of all, I don't even get how they were interacting with each other across the universe. Through
So
the
they don't
Force.
get in. They don't. They eventually don't
think that was
explain it.
terrible. Like this, like
Speaking
link that
to
they
each
had.
other
Oh,
is-
as a
that was
mechanic,
normal.
sure,
Listen,
but
when
as
they
a
were, like,
world-breaking
talking
part of
to
the
each other-
Force, yes, one that they don't explain either. Except
Yeah.
Chancellor Palpatine says the word dyad at the end of the movie when
And
there's like
and
5
now
minutes
I can
left.
force heal.
Oh yeah,
That's
force
new.
healing was. I think
can
everyone can agree
force
that breaks
heal.
everything.
Hold on.
right?
That's
Well, then
big-
Yeah,
why
but
did
isn't-
why
canon.
did
Yeah, but
why
isn't
did
that the-
anybody
isn't
have
that
to
the thing
ever
that,
die?
like Anakin wanted to do?
Why did Qui-Gon
right?
have to die? If
You say it's been
Obi-Wan-
canon, but we're talking
Obi-Wan,
about
one of the
main-
best
main
Jedis
movies is
to ever
canon.
live could have just gone.
So main
and healed,
movies
right?
is your main point of canon, and it's the same reason we have these complaints. Because keep in mind, half of these plot
Obi-Wan
points they
was a
could explain
Padawan,
in a
bro.
stupid book. In half these, so half of these plot problems we have in these
It
movies,
makes
they probably
perfect
made
sense
novels to
how
try and fix
Palpatine
the issues,
returned.
but those are all made after the fact.
Like Clone
Right.
Wars?
Same reason that force healing wouldn't be a thing that's effective to the older movies, because of course it's not. Because it's never in the movie. It is not like it's absent completely because it's not an existing
Hold
element.
on. We got to finish this Rise of Skywalker thing. Second thing. Rey, all of a sudden, when Palpatine's shooting lightning at her and clapping her crazy style, and all of a sudden, the remedy is saying, I'm all the Jedi, and pulling out another lightsaber, and
It's
then
the
she
one
can just
that
start
Kylo
walking.
had.
That doesn't matter. That shouldn't do anything. That shouldn't do anything.
No, yeah, it's bullcrap that she does a Power Rangers move to
Yeah,
defeat
yeah,
the
exactly.
Emperor.
It's like
also
that-
the fact that he said, "I am all the Sith." It's like, why did you say that? Other than if they're just trying to set up for her to say all the Jedi, which, by the way, it's not even a cool
Hold on,
line.
last thing.
It's not even a cool line.
part
It's
of the
cringe.
movie.
The last thing. This is probably the stupidest part of the movie. Okay. I'm Rey Skywalker.
She's literally not.
I don't.
What?
I don't
They've-
like that part either. I think
The
it's
idea
kinda
being
cringe.
by that
I-
point,
But
it's
that's
found family, but
the
you've killed the
whole-
entire found family.
Hold on. It's
They're all
literally a
dead.
nonsensical statement. It's literally, it's just not.
She might as
true.
well have just became a high schooler with blue hair and said, I sexually identify as a toaster oven with a brown Pop-Tart in it.
Skywalker.
Like what? Like that.
You know, like Luke and Anakin.
Don't-
I'm like that.
Don't look into my heritage. Don't. No, I don't want the galaxy.
No, seriously, this is like you claiming that you're what do you call
Palpatines win.
who's somebody that everybody loves.
That would be like
This is like
Leah.
claiming. This is like
Yeah, the
claiming
Palpatines
that
win in the end.
I am one of.
That's okay.
He says, "Strike me down so that I may like possess your body." And guess what she does? Kills him.
This is like saying that like I'm a descendant.
He said
of
that if
King
I die, I
David,
become
right?
powerful.
That
Like
would
some
be
and
kind
she
of
killed
royalty,
him.
and then you find out that they're Jeffrey Epstein's child.
You know what it's like? It's like
Seriously.
it's like I walk into your house
And then she goes,
Saturday
Ray
morning.
Teresa. Like I'm Mother
Hold on.
Teresa.
This
Sorry,
is
go
This
ahead,
is like
go
I
ahead.
walk into your house on Saturday morning during Bible study and I go, I'm the oldest blunt brother. It's me. That's what this is like. It's like I'm the oldest.
And then
one
all
now.
of us are like, "What are you talking about?" And then
no.
so one person goes, "No. If you think about it, like all the point that it's gotten up till this point, I think he's earned it." And it's like, "No, what are you talking about?"
Listen, you don't earn somebody else's heritage.
Right.
Like, as much as like I like might love like the black community, I am not of African descent. Does that make sense?
Theoretically.
We can't be the king of Wakanda, all right?
In theory.
Never.
Do you stop? My point is, like, I can't just declare that, like, hold on, let me like Kendrick Lamar.
You're walking on
Let's say I
glass right
become
now.
friends with Kendrick Lamar, right?
Like, we get the
And I
point,
hang
we
around
get
their
it.
family, right? And Kendrick, he dies.
No, like,
I go,
we understand.
I'm
I said I
Harrison
don't like
Lamar.
that
Yeah,
part
yeah.
either.
No, we're,
like, giving
we're just yelling at the
multiple
void. We're not
examples.
making fun of you. We're yelling at the void right now.
No,
Well-
I know. I'm just like, let's go on to the next thing.
Can I say
like-
something I
There is
like?
no next thing. This
Can
is the thing.
Can I
You
say
guys just
With
hate
something
good
you
quality
like.
films.
If you say it's the
That
part
is
with Han
rage
Solo,
bait. Hold on,
if you say the
That's
part with Han
rage
Solo,
bait, and you know it's not a good quality film, you just like it.
Okay, but also like
You can like bad
again,
movies,
I
it's fine.
didn't grow up watching. Like I didn't
That's
care
not a
about
factor.
Skywalker.
We're not factoring
or
I've
that
whatever,
never
like-
seen
Yo, I just remembered.
What?
I just remembered the
Leah.
part that made
I've
me
never
laugh out
seen.
loud
I
in
never saw the
theater.
prequel
I
to
just
Project
remembered-
Hail Mary.
I just remembered,
You know what I
I just
mean?
remembered the part that made me
I've
laugh
only
out
seen
loud in
one
theater, and
movie.
I think you
I
were
didn't
there.
know
One
there was a
movie.
I think you were
prequel to
there, dude. When, hold on, before I say this, one thing that I did like was Rey's
Babu
lightsaber
Freak.
at the end. Her lightsaber.
Oh,
is
no,
dope.
no, wait.
Her lightsaber's fire. But
Who?
wait,
True.
I just need
The
to say
yellow
that.
one?
True.
Yes, the yellow
Yeah, that
one
one's
and the
cool.
hilt,
That's
her
cool.
lightsaber's dope. Dude, when Palpatine force farts and shoots the lightning up
Oh,
into
that
the
part
air.
is so awesome.
No, it's
It's funny.
It's funny.
Yeah,
it's
so
really
she agrees it's funny.
hilarious.
She agrees it's
okay,
funny.
Yes,
It's
it's
funny,
hilarious.
but it's also
It is
cool.
so absurd.
Why?
He just
It's
has
No, it is not
infinite-
cool.
Infinite power.
Dude, it's just no. Honestly, it was the visuals. The visuals are sick. It's the sound design. The sound design. for
What
that,
should it
Well,
have
no.
sounded
Even,
like?
the visuals are actually more
I don't
bullcrap
know,
than
but
the sound
not
design.
that. It sounded like queso ripping it.
Yeah.
Like it.
No, so it
Ripping
was
it
the
on the
bass
mic,
was
dude.
so deep and distorted, but they
So-
couldn't be piercing everyone's
So wait,
ears,
did
so it's
you-
turned down and like compressed, so
It's
it just sounds
weird.
like
It's weird. What's
So
your
did
question?
you guys not like the Kylo and Rey thing, or what?
I mean, it barely
It
existed.
It was mishandled, and
It
it
was
was thrown in
mishandled.
last
You just
second.
missed it in the eighth film.
god.
No, it
You
was not a
missed it.
factor.
Oh
It
my
was not
gosh.
A
Yes,
factor.
it was.
It was
wasn't-
barely
wasn't-
built.
They could have done it better.
It was like
They
if
could've
Luke
done
and
it
Han
better.
started
It
kissing.
Was, it was something. It was something in Force Awakens too. You guys
No,
just didn't.
no.
see it.
because
You're right.
he was roaming
You're
over
right.
her all
I
creepy
know.
like,
You're right.
holding his hand.
But here's
I
the
can
thing.
feel
If
your
anything,
emotion.
I thought they were setting up her with Finn.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, no, they were.
No.
If anything,
And,
No,
but
you're
Last
right.
Jedi ruined it with.
In-
if
Yeah,
anything,
What's her
that's
name?
true.
Rose?
That's true.
her
That's
up
Last Jedi's
with
fault.
Finn.
Is that they completely screwed over. I thought for sure they were going to be together,
in
Finn and Rey, because they were leading to
hindsight-
that.
Finn
In
Rey?
hindsight,
people
you
call
can
it Finn Rey.
How about Faye?
listen.
Yeah.
In hindsight,
Rin.
you can see the Reylo thing, but in 7 and 8, it's so maybe like you're like.
You think it's
no,
just
it could be. Here's the problem.
That's
It
why,
could
that's
be-
why
it could
Ian
be
and I were like
several
excited.
It could
'cause,
just
like,
be
we thought It
friendship.
was like,
First of all,
That's what I thought it
like
was.
the
drama.
we
you
thought
just-
we
you're
were saying
looking at these
something.
guys.
We thought,
You just like the drama.
we thought that
You're a
would never
woman.
happen. So when it happened, we were like,
You know what she watches more than anything? What is the name of that stupid show you watch? With the backstabbing. Oh, what is
Gilmore Girls?
What
What are you
show?
talking
Traders
about?
and whatever.
Okay, I just started watching that this year.
But you watch it all the time.
I've
What is
I
it
only
called?
I would-
Trader. It's a
gosh.
drama show where people backstab.
I haven't
you.
watched it in like a month because I was just watching the old seasons and it's over now.
Well, hey.
Yeah, but I haven't
very
watched it for a
interesting.
month because that's when it stopped coming out.
Well, here's
You know that I like games and it's a game show. It's like watching Imposter
it's a
or
drama
watching
game
Mafia.
show. They backstab each
I
other.
saw you watching this.
It's
What's it
so
called?
good.
What's it called?
It's called Traders.
It's like no, it's like Survivor, right?
It's interesting.
It's more
And
dramatic
you know,
though because they like form like
she's
real
a female.
bonds.
Like girls like drama. And listen.
Okay,
hold on.
that's like the only drama thing that I've watched.
No, but I'm not saying that's like a bad thing, but it's low quality. Is all. That's all that it is. It's
just bottom of the barrel, low hanging fruit.
No, but it's entertaining though. It's entertaining, right?
It's fun.
It's like it's
Leah,
like a candy
Leah.
bar.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, no,
like,
no,
it's
Leah.
like a
We're
candy
not
bar.
disagreeing
Some people
that it
like
can
candy
be
bars and
engaging.
Some people like
Right.
steak.
Leah, we're not
Survivor
disagreeing that
is
it can
so
be
entertaining,
engaging.
and that's drama. Have you seen Survivor?
Yeah, that yes.
It's great.
Yeah,
It's
But
see, I've
that's
seen
that's a little
Survivor.
that's
Leah,
not
for example-
oriented for girls.
Leah, for
specifically.
example,
that's all.
Nothing is
spectrum.
more compelling
People
than a
on
mystery.
the spectrum, people off the spectrum. It's for everybody.
But a mystery is not a full part of the puzzle. It's you're putting the puzzle together. A good mystery is where all the puzzle pieces come together.
What's our
okay?
time?
That's a good one.
We
Drama
are
is another
1 hour
thing
and 2
like
minutes.
that, where it's like it doesn't have a lot to it
think we
other
should
than
call it.
emotions
I
and
think
sides.
I think it's
alright?
time to put a pin in it, and we're gonna record a Patreon now.
Heck yeah.
So if you want to see additional content, go to our Patreon. It's in the description. It's also in the comments section. I'm going to pin it there. It's $3 a month. Go support us. You get more content. It's worth it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We love you. See you in the next one.
Bye.